Hey guys, so the following video is the story of Kristin, someone who has completed 3 bootcamps in a row in the totality of 2025. So in the video, you would hear Kristin detailing her practices before joining CC, where she describes how she was having a hard time at making it consistent, and how even though she got very interested in spirituality and practices towards awakening, things were quite confusing, and how joining CC has been instrumental in helping her cultivate a practice, sustainable way of doing contemplative studies, and also her personal transformation throughout this entire 2025, and how right now she looks forward to continue training with CC with regarding to all the teachers, the instructors that has worked with her in her time in CC. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully this can spark some conversation and some reflection for you if you find yourself relating to Kristin's situation, and she may have some word for you. Check it out. Hello, hello.
Hi, Con.
Hi, Kristin.
How
Uh,
are how are you?
I'm doing well. Were you there in today? Today,
This
sorry.
morning?
Yeah, this morning.
Yes. Yes, but I wasn't able to stay for the discussion. How did is it going to be on recording to watch the discussion later or
Yeah, it's already on YouTube. So we
okay.
uploaded everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we live
Okay.
streamed the entire session.
Okay, super.
How was that set for
Yeah,
you?
good job. It was good. I kind of went into I think I kind of blacked out and I had this very weird vision like that I've never had before, which was there was all like CC people around and we were walking down the street and all of a sudden the sky turned dark and and everybody was saying, "Oh, what's going on?" I said, "Oh, maybe it's an eclipse." And then all of a sudden there was this spaceship in the sky and it felt realer than real and it was like, "Oh my God, it's happening." And I like that was the thought that came into my mind and I didn't know what I was referring to. Aliens are here. And it was like they were like it was like I think there was some kind of thought about like oh maybe this is what everybody refers to when they talk about seeing weird stuff.
No.
So I I didn't encounter anything other than that, but it was like it was a spaceship, but it was also like in the form of like a powerful being, some kind it was it itself was a powerful being. And
Interesting.
I wasn't too sure if it was good or
And
bad, but
and you're saying that in regarding to tuning into the transmission in CC, for you usually it doesn't come in the form of vision, but today you had a vision.
yeah.
Interesting.
And it was like it was super real. Like I really, you know, thought I
Yeah,
was there.
yeah, because like sometimes that black out territory, I think I know what you mean in terms of like, because we usually have a stable ongoing ontology of how we interact with reality. So in order for our mind attempts to jump into a new reality where there is that possibility of coming to contact with that spaceship-like kind of being, it must have to go through like, whoa, what's going on now? It's almost like entering a
Right,
new dimension where
right.
things seems very real. There's lucidity there. There is intentionality. There's dynamic relationships. Yeah.
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 And I kind of knew, oh, this is just this just seems scary. It's not really scary. But at the same time, I was like looking behind me, trying to like not take my eyes off what was in front of me, but I was trying to grab for my son to be like, Come closer to me so I can protect you." Like what I could do, I
Wow.
don't know. But
Interesting. Yeah.
mm.
So, okay, for context of this conversation, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me. Um,
Of course.
the unveiling process, like I was reaching out to you. I think that having done 4 boot camps now, like in this current iteration, I think it's also time that we kind of take the pick under the hood a little bit for people who's outside of CC, from different kind of stories,
Yes.
different cases that within CC. I think this is the first one actually. So you're the first one that we doing this, we're sharing this because I want to reach out to people with a diverse background. So I reach out to
Hmm.
you, I reach out to Matthew, I reach out to Chrissy, I reach out to a bunch of people to kind of
Yeah.
like see how it feels like to go through this journey together. Because like we were just contemplating about your vision, but sometimes it can be very surreal, sometimes it can be very strange, but at
Hmm.
times it can also completely normal what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it could be a trip. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, mostly it's pretty normal. I'm usually just watching, recognizing my mind, recognizing the patterns and things like that. And I've, long ago stopped worrying about having some kind of spectacular experience, some kind
Mm.
of, as you could put it, bombastic experience. It's just whatever is showing up is that's what I'm there to contend with. So I get that now fully. And I was thinking about what I wanted to say to people who might be considering joining CC, in case they might find something similar, if they might find themselves being somewhat similar to me. I was always sort of had this rush, like a sense of urgency, like, oh, I need to, become enlightened. I need to do this, and that's sort of my disposition about a lot of things in life, is sort of impatience and want to go fast. And so that was one thing. And then the other thing was my practice was like not very consistent. It would come and go, right? Um, and then I would also get discouraged easily because, I was essentially just doing everything on my own. I didn't have a
Mm.
sangha. And I followed Frank and a lot of several other teachers. I've read many other books. um but at one point, Frank was my gym coach, and the first time around, or maybe even the first couple of times, he was like, oh, we're putting together this little group. And you know i I was like, oh, I don't know if I can spend that much money. And this was kind of my thinking at the time. Um, and then like the second or third time he asked me, it was like, boom, of course, yes. It was like this automatic yes. And
So to fill in the context for the audience a little bit, you're talking about the yes is around the end of 2024, about a year ago.
yes, yeah, it
Okay.
was about 1 year ago, to this time.
Right.
And I, you know, attended the intro call where you guys described the boot camp and the application process and all that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope that I get accepted.
Mm.
It was like, it was a no-brainer because I wanted that structure, and I wanted the benefits of being in a group. And um, what I can tell anyone who's listening is the amplification uh, power of doing this in a group. Um, I mean, not even, never mind the power of our main teacher,
Mm.
Meicheng, and also our other teachers like yourself, Con, and Frank, and Taylor, and Jason, and on and on.
Of
um,
course, Albert as
and
well,
Albert.
which
Oh my God, how could
we'll,
I
we'll
forget
come
Albert?
later. We'll come later to Albert, but yeah, because it's the
um,
most recent one, right?
yeah, the amplification of your efforts is unbelievable. being in this group, being in the CC group. Uh, they it starts with the leadership and works its way down. The leadership, you guys really, you hold a very high bar for everybody who's participating, and people either match that bar or they drop out.
Mm.
And there's just not like, people in this group are so full of integrity. They want it for themselves. They want, progress for themselves, but they want it for each other. The support is unbelievable. And
Can you define from your perspective what you mean by like the high bar here?
so, Meicheng often talks about how, um, not everybody's going to make it through. Not
Right.
everybody's going to make it through. You're going to have, you know, there's going to be these little decision points that come up through your day. Um, like, um, oh, I have to do this instead, or, this is more important. And you have to
Distraction, perhaps. Yeah.
distractions. And
Yeah.
if you really want this, you have to pay attention to, that's your mind. That's something you should
Mm.
be recognizing. Because if you really want this, you do have to be very disciplined and dedicated. And you'll at some point you'll need to go beyond your motivation. You'll need to reach for aspiration, as Mei Chang discusses. And yeah, so that high bar is it's being dedicated, putting in the work, because it's every day. It's 6 days a week. We have meetings 6 days a week,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're long. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like you have to make this time commitment. It's not easy. Like, in some senses it seems like it's easy, right? Oh, it's meditation, chatting with people. No, it's like it's you're really got to be dedicated, and you've got to constantly be striving for virtue. And that is not there's no prescription on that. There's no, like, CC doesn't have rules like maybe every other group under the sun, where this is how we do it. This is what you need to do. This is how you need to act in these circumstances. It's really about taking ownership. You guys set the bar for taking accountability for everything that shows up in your life. Everything that you want to be a victim about, you need to really examine it very closely. I mean, some people might not like even hearing this before they come into the group, but
Right.
everything that's in your life is there.
Yeah, that can be very
It's,
challenging, right?
yeah,
Because like at times we point about, we challenge each other's perspective, things that we would maybe rather wallow into the kind of like a self-pity or a type of like um blaming, scapegoating into
yeah.
others. It's not also,
Mhm.
it's not to say that there is not other influences that has a negative impact on you, but is to
Right.
focus on your relationship with it, right?
Right. And right. So the point is, there will be pain in your life, right? It's like by definition of this world that we're in. But what is optional is the suffering, and that is the part that we do to ourselves, that we have to take
Mm.
accountability for, and that's, you know, that's what we're doing on a daily basis, is seeing how we're causing our own suffering. Um, and as Albert says, if you do that alone, you will become liberated. If you take that all the way,
Right.
really see how you're causing your own suffering.
So
It's
I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of people who's also are doing it maybe mostly by themselves. I mean, they have access to materials, which most likely is via a book or recording or videos or something like that. But they don't really have like a heart to heart, person to person kind of connection here. So that's one. But I'm curious, really, like, so you mentioned that your practice has been on and off. So how did the bootcamp structure kind of solve that situation solve that problem for you?
Well, because there's a set time every day.
Oh,
You've got to show up, and you know, as Meicheng says, this in modern society, like when you pay for something, it makes you say, "Oh, well, I really need to show up because I paid for it." So that's usually activated in most people.
right.
um, but really, it's not about that you paid for it. It's about that you kind of are making a vow to yourself that you want to achieve liberation. And like, are you going to do it or not?
Mm,
And you've got to show up. So with the group, it solves that problem because it's there every day, and everybody else is showing up. So you sort of have you have a responsibility not only to yourself but to the others in the group, because although you may think like, um, oh well, what I'm sharing is very mundane and silly and stupid, or we don't think that what we have to share is important at all. And it's is every single person sharing is drastically important, dramatically important, because I can't tell you how many times people have shared something that maybe could have been labeled mundane, and I went, oh my God, yeah, I see that in myself. And it kind of just, it clicks something for you. So the discussions are extremely important in terms of your progress also,
mm,
so that you can then take this thing that we do every day for an hour and a half, the meditation portion, and bring it into your entire life,
right.
where practice and life is one.
Right. I see. Mm. So I'm also curious. I don't think I've asked you this question directly, but why did you decide to do this boot camp even though it's high bar, it's challenging 3 times in a row? So the entirety of 2025, right? 3 times in a
Mhm.
row.
Yeah. Um,
Coming to a fourth time now, soon.
yep.
Yep.
Um, it it works. What can I tell you? I mean, I'm making progress. I'm kind of a slow burn, kind of a, my path seems to be that way at the moment, but um there's 100% definitely progress. I mean, just to give you a mundane example, this year
Right.
I host Thanksgiving every year for my whole family, and I do all the cooking and all the preparation. And usually every year I'm pretty stressed out, and making all kinds of lists and like, oh, worrying about every detail. And this year it was like I was just totally like, I wasn't worried at all. I was able
Mm,
to. I could actually, the old habits, the old thought patterns would arise, and I would recognize them, because that's what we do every day, is this
right.
resting and recognizing. And I would go, oh, I see that, and it wouldn't hook me, and so just qualitatively, like, my life is better because of all the work that we're doing.
Mm,
And yeah, and yeah, so, and I mean, and it's like a second home, or maybe it's like my first home in a way. The people here, when I said before that everybody here is full of integrity, it's not like it's this it's full of lots of love, okay? Like true love. And true love is like where people will call you out on stuff, where people will say, "Hey, I see, you seem to be holding back on this thing." And
right.
so not somebody who really cares about you is going to be willing to um, ask you things that might be uncomfortable, let's say. And so you get it all here. You get a true caring from people. It's huge. And it's fun. It's fun, and it's like it's hard, but it also is really just full of so much like heart.
Yeah. That's interesting, right? Because a lot of time we speak in different ways, but the instruction always come around like come as you are, just be yourself. uh, just rest into whatever's going on and recognize your own pattern, recognize your own doing, take accountability. And then that ends up being the hardest thing that we're asked to do, because then there's no running away. There's no
S-
fantasizing in that way.
Yeah.
And you are asked to do that for pretty much a whole year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of us have retreat condition. You do that for 10 days, but you come back and things kind of like dilute a little bit. So you got 3 weeks chilling out. But yeah, I mean, like there is a certain rhythm to CC that is just like it's just like a slow burn that is gradually cooking us, gradually revealing things, right? Until we can't deny the patterns anymore. So then we got to do something about it.
Yeah. And I think that my progress is um it's not just a straight, a straight slow burn. So there is an exponential element to it. Like it's
Mm.
this last cohort was I was definitely feeling a lot more progress than even the first two. So
Yeah, I mean, just talking to you now, Kristin, is feels really amazing the kind of work that you and Albert and 7B did together. Because I remember when you first joined CC, like the impression I got from you was you were absorbing a lot of non-dual materials, but there was this confusion, there was this kind of like self-judgment, referring to yourself, but also wanting to push that away. It's this very, very kind of and I'm not blaming you for that. It's like it's a market condition, right? It's like a convoluting way of looking at no selves. So you're kind of like not wanting to be yourself, but what else can we be? So this is a strange disassociation. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I had in studying solo all these different non-duality teachers and I think that their intentions are very good. Um you but not being able to be in relation with them.
Right.
So it's a one-way conversation. You're receiving information, but you're not able to get it clarified, to help get it clarified. And so you can end up with lots of distorting uh, concepts, like for instance, the no self, making that into a thing, first of all. It's not a
Right.
thing. And also having sort of a distorted sense of like, I need to get rid of myself.
Right.
Somehow, you know, the self that's clearly here but is empty is, problematic. It's not problematic. If it's showing up, it is what it is. It's what reality is presenting.
Yeah.
And are you paying attention to it?
And yeah, so how was working with Albert specifically this last cohort? And because I know he spends a lot of time with everyone.
He's There's just like almost no words. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's such a good teacher. Um, I mean, he helps to really make things very clear. You're able to ask any questions you want, and he gives you very direct answers, as direct as you can be in this territory. But he's also, he's an artist, he's a poet, and so he's able to put things in terms that are poetic, but like relatable and useful. And the other thing he does is he puts so much heart into it. Like he takes his vow
His
to his
com
students extremely seriously, and uh he will never let you down. He will never let you down. Just I don't know. All I can say is like, if anybody is thinking, should I do it? My God, absolutely. Yes, definitely do it. Especially, I mean, if you've been studying alone for a while and you just feel confused or frustrated or whatever, yes, definitely join. Yeah. It's not that you'll still experience it, frustration and confusion, but you'll at least be able to figure out what to do with that and how to work with it, because
Right.
it is part of the path. But it's when you're working with it all by yourself that it's like the mind, what happens is the mind takes over, and it just keeps you from making progress because the mind's like, aha, okay, something to work with here, and then it takes over and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think okay, so I guess perhaps the last question for today's conversation is where's the story of Kristin heading in terms of your next set of practices, what you're working with right now? Because there's a lot of progress, but I guess one of the things that when we train together on this path, it's just becoming clear that it's a never-ending cultivation. It's a never-ending perfection of being ourselves.
Mm.
So where's this cultivation for you for yours heading?
um well, I would say heading towards a deeper understanding or a deeper realization of presence, of
Mm,
your presence, of yeah, um of what I truly am. Not a thing, but undeniably something.
mm,
So, yeah, it's about really being able to be with the mystery in every moment, not trying to make it something that it's not, not wishing it to be something that it's not, or even if there's wishing to for it to be something else, then just being with that. That's what's here.
mm.
Mm. And seeing that I'm all of it and none of it at the same time.
Yeah. I'm also personally very touched and glad that you keep at it, Christine. Like seeing you just chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Yeah, just time and time again, putting that willingness to train, to work, to practice, and improve your faculties, improve your skills over time. It's been really amazing to witness.
Thanks, Con.
Yeah. But okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll talk again, and we'll see how. I mean, by talk, of course, we're gonna talk again. But to capture this in another milestone, to have these kind of like little diaries that we can share publicly for people also be interested, because I think it's easy. One of the things when we've been practicing coming as we are, like these things come quite naturally, right? We just authentically sharing what's been going on, and then
Yeah.
just wrapping ourselves, representing what's going on, and we'll catch up and have another debrief. I don't know how many months from now, but just kind of like this conversation to have this ongoing public diaries for people to see that,
Y-
oh, interesting. Kind of did what
Yeah.
Frank does with all the like on those snapshots.
Yeah. And also, when you said what's coming up for Kristen, then that kind of brings up a sense of like, uh, what I haven't accomplished yet, or, this notion of a future and like a better future, something different. And that somehow there's a thing or a place or a time that's better than right now. That there's something that I'm going to get in the future that's not already right here. And it's already right here. So, yes, there will be walking down a path, there will be there will be meditations, and there will be relating. But what I am seeking is already right here. It's right
Yeah.
here, right now.
Mm. That's the accessibility and the availability of illumination, right? You can't run away from it. But I
No.
guess what's tricky or what's can be oftentimes confusing, like how we started this conversation of you absorbing without relationships with others, is that then these kind of think about how it is so that you always have access to it, but you also would benefit a lot by having a feedback structure, having peers, having instructors, teachers who know you personally,
Yeah.
because people can get so easily confused by that notion of it's already here. Complacency
Right.
kicks in,
Yeah.
uh, overinflate, like overinflation of what you realize. I mean, I did that to myself, so and I did that to myself even within CC. So I know like how easy that can be a trap. But I
Yeah.
think luckily, like if we are in conversations with a lot of sincere practitioners, right? Just sincere practitioners,
Yeah.
we have a chance of watching us like watching over one another and providing the support structure that can keep our sanity at bay. Because yeah, this could be really, really destabilizing at times, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you'll wake up, or I will wake up in the middle of the night and go, whoa, this is getting a little too real.
Yeah, now we're in a conversation about like we're having dreams about practicing together, or like omens, or like you would hear something in transmission, and somebody in your life would say that thing back to you, and you just have a moment of like, whoa, this is realer than real. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and it just
Yeah.
sync up,
And
sync up, sync up, sync up.
yeah. I mean, one of the things that Meicheng said to me is it's this fear of emptiness that is often the limiting factor. It is the thing that holds people back. And I was
Yeah,
talking about how um yeah, I'm not normally in contact with that in my conscious day. In my conscious day, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Come on. Okay, come on, universe, show me whatever, and
yeah,
and and through talking with him, I realize it's those times, or what he said is, well, tell me about a difficult time you had recently. He said, because it is these, when you have difficult times, these afflictive emotions and states that come up, that is the very thing that is gatekeeping the fear of
mm,
emptiness. And until you get through that that wall that surrounds the fear of emptiness, you can't really work on that yet. And so, there are times when, like in the middle of the night, I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and those walls, it's like, those things they have, people have them on their lawn, these Christmas snowman, right? And it has air
right,
in it, and they blow it up at night, and then in the morning you'll see them on people's lawns all flat down. Well,
right.
it's like our defenses are like that. So when we go to sleep at night, they kind of fall down sometimes.
Mm,
And then that fear can arise, I guess, and it shows up in dreams and things like that.
right.
So that's probably what I'm working on, is just to continue to chip away at those structures, those afflictive structures that are essentially guarding me from being in touch with fear of emptiness. Because yeah, I had a moment recently where I because like when I think of like, oh, okay, yeah, things becoming totally groundless, and I think to myself, okay, I can handle that. I can handle that. But what I don't realize is, just if you listen to that sentence, I I can handle that. So in other words, I'm assuming that when things become groundless, that there will still be an I there. And
Mm,
and it occurred to me the other day that groundlessness means like there's not even that,
right.
perhaps. And then what? Then that's when that fear would come kick in. So I'm trying to, I think by being with things that we're uncomfortable with, whether it's fear, anger, jealousy, resentment, guilt, and on and on. When you can develop the fitness to sit with those difficult emotions, it's building up your fitness to then be able to sit with something like, this giant fear of emptiness, the
Mm,
giant fear of dismantling your entire ontological conceptual frameworks.
yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. That's a lot for people to take in at times, the fear of emptiness and the subtle clinging that we have towards certainty or some sort of a stable ground, so that we
mm,
can have a base reflecting others from this centralized kind of notion of a self, refusing to let that cease. Yeah. And how, like, I see at times that, yeah, like those condition, when it's a favorable condition, right? When it's a favorable condition, meaning nothing is going on, your life is very tranquil. Of course, you sit down, you'll be able to like dissolve your body or something like that. But when it's the unfavorable condition, when it's like you actually are afraid or you're actually having this tumultuous kind of upheaval inside, then the fitness matters, right? Then within that condition, can we have the disposition to not be caught up and compound our suffering, but instead, like, remember your training, remember our training.
yeah.
That, yeah.
Building our strength in CC is that is a major benefit that you'll get if you dedicate yourself to it.
Mm,
And I remember having a chat with you, and I was talking about how it was either in the past or how I was feeling then that like I wanted things to be easy.
mm,
And you said to me, well, um, if you want things to be easy, there's an implication there that means you don't want to be anything other than your level of strength that you have today. You don't mind being weak. You're saying
right.
I'm weak, so I need it to be easy.
Yeah.
And you said, is that really what you want? Do you want to be weak or do you want to be strong? And so I think of that all the time, to be honest with you. I think about that all the time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
about leaning into strengthening myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like also like going through that process, we just it's a acquired taste. It's a difficult appetite to develop, but like an appetite to do hard things. Because like so often our life is geared towards pleasure, right? Like
Yeah.
pleasant, just pleasant experiences. But like
Mhm.
developing the virtue of being able to exert even when we don't feel like it, but then also know when to really rest and be compassionate towards ourselves, because self-hatred can only get us so far. It's
Mm,
also not just the end all be all, like push push push, grind 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 all the time, because that's not the case either. Because you will
yeah.
swing between like, why can't it be easy, or like, why am I so weak, instead of not seeing like, wait a minute, like I can be grounded and centered.
Yeah. And that was something that Albert really brings in very strongly in his teaching, is this notion of being gentle with yourself. So, he wants us all to get up to that high bar of dedication, hard work, but at the same time, he that's one of his messages that he was constantly reiterating to us is
Mm,
to soften and be gentle with ourselves. And man, is that powerful.
mm,
Because and actually that was another thing that came out in my discussion with Meicheng was about this hardness that I have. Um, probably a lot of hardness towards myself, and it's like a judgmentalness. It's
mm,
that tendency to be judgmental
right.
within my relationships, and that hardness is something that he said to look at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, it's like this paradox. It's like, yes, work hard, strive hard, but at
Yeah.
the same time, be
Yeah.
gentle with yourself. Can you do that? Tyson talks about that a lot too. about
Yep. Yep.
doing what feels nourishing.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
In terms of physical exertion, like exercise and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's one of
Yeah.
our mentors.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm gonna go run after this.
Okay. Yeah.
Been on Tyson's training. Tyson's training me, and continues to train me, and it's been very nourishing. I've also been, because of various reasons, not have the best relationship with my body. So it's just slowly working towards that, working towards self-acceptance, while also enjoying challenging myself physically. And because like we either one or the other, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been an interesting journey, and I can see like, okay, like there's a way to do this that is pushing the boundaries while also being gentle and having a trust between intrapersonally within yourself, have a trust.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But I know we can go on and on and keep talk about all kind of things. So thank you so much, Christine. And yeah, maybe please show up on the rest of the public practice week and so share your piece. I'll be uploading this
Okay.
on YouTube today. So if tomorrow
Okay.
you come, I can also shout you out and like you guys can go check that out.
Okay. Great.
Yeah. But okay. Thank you so much. I'll be seeing you around. Take care,
All right.
Christine.
Thank you, Con. Thank you for giving birth to CC. It's so great.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Take
Have a
care.
good
Bye
one.
bye. You too.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.